Tiger Chase Stadium in New York, pretty good crowd on hand tonight. We had the Upper Deck Heroes Old Timers game before this game, bringing back the participants in the '73 World Series, the Mets and the Oakland A's. And we have a pleasant night for this third game of the series. Doc Gooden goes for New York, Danny Jackson for the Phils, Jim Fregosi and John Vukovic in the Phillies dugout, and Jim Fregosi again will be playing Kim Baptiste at third base with the absence of Dave Hollins. This afternoon, Baltimore beat Boston 5-1. Brad Pennington was the winner in that game. Greg Harris took the loss. Just ended the Candlestick. The Giants hang on to beat the Cubs 5-4. Bill Swift won it. He's 8-3. Chuck McElroy lost at 2-2. Rod Beck recorded his 18th save. So San Francisco knocking off the Cubs. And those Cubs only had a game and a one-game lead over those Florida Marlins coming into play today. Florida half a game behind Pittsburgh and a game behind Chicago coming into play. Well, that'll be the team the Phillies see at Veterans Stadium beginning on Thursday, a 4-game series. And the Marlins, an expansion team, has certainly been competitive. Last night, Marlins had a team record 21 hits against those Buccos. They've won 6 of their last 7. And they are 8.5 games ahead of the New York Mets. And as we mentioned, just a half a game behind Pittsburgh and a full game behind, now a half a game behind the Cubs.
Second will be the crew chief, Bruce Fleming. And the third base line, Jerry Davis.
Jim Fregosi taking out the Phillies lineup. Bobby Wine taking out the lineup for the New York Mets for this third game of the series. The Phillies' lead in the National League East now is 10.5 games over St. Louis and Montreal, who are deadlocked in second. The Cubs are 13.5 back with their loss today. Pittsburgh 13.5 back. Florida 14 back, and the Mets are 22.5 games out. San Francisco, with their win this afternoon, opening a 6-game lead over Houston. Atlanta 6.5 back, then Los Angeles 7.5. The Reds are 10 back, then San Diego 13.5, and Colorado well back at 20 games out of first place. The Detroit Tigers have won 2 in a row against Toronto. Overall, they have won 4 in a row, and they've opened a 3-game lead over the Jays in the American League East. The Yankees are 4 back. Baltimore winning this afternoon 7 back. They've won 10 in a row now, have the O's. Boston has lost 7 in a row with their loss this afternoon. They're 9.5 back, then Cleveland 10.5, or rather Milwaukee 10.5, and Cleveland 13. In the American League West, Kansas City has a 1.5 game lead over both California and Chicago. Texas comes next at 4 back, along with Minnesota also 4 back. Then Seattle's 6 and Oakland 9.5 in the most tightly bunched race in baseball, American League West. Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Rutkowski celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. Golden wedding anniversary in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. There's the Phillies bench, and Jim Fregosi has a bench to work with this year. It's certainly been a good one. The everyday players have been well supported by the bench. Gina Panichelli of Lansdowne, Pennsylvania, 29th birthday today.
The Phillies remain 1 player short right now. They're still trying to make another move, and so they come into the ball game tonight with 24 players available.
Jim Fregosi's lineup tonight will have Lenny Dykstra in center field leading off. Mariano Duncan, shortstop, bat second. John Kruk, first base, hitting third. Darren Dalton will catch and bat fourth. Jim Eisenreich, right fielder, hitting fifth. Milt Thompson, the left fielder, bats sixth. Kim Baptiste, third base, hitting seventh. Mickey Morandini at second base will bat eighth. And batting ninth and pitching will be Danny Jackson. They'll be facing the right-hander, Doc Gooden.
There's Doc Gooden, 6'3", 210-pounder. Doc now 28 8 years of age, out of Tampa, Florida. #1 pick in June of 1982 by the New York Mets. 5th overall in the draft that year, and 15-10 lifetime against the Phillies.
Defensively behind the dock, it'll be Jeff Kent playing at third base tonight. At shortstop is Tim Bogart, Jeff McKnight at second, Eddie Murray at first. Charlie O'Brien is the catcher. In the outfield from left to right, Vince Coleman, Darren Jackson, newly acquired, in center, and Bobby Bonilla in right. Lenny Dykstra will lead it off. Dykstra hitting at .282. Lifetime against Doc, he's a .300 hitter. Umpires tonight, Mark Hirschbeck has the plate. At first base, Brian Gorman. Bruce Fremming, the crew chief, at second, and Jerry Davis umpires at third. Fastball is high to Dykstra. 1 ball and no strikes. Gooden leads the league in innings pitched. 102 2/3 innings coming into this game. 6th in the league in ERA at .272, and he misses with that one. 2-0.
Very familiar is Doc Gooden to Phillies fans. Fastball, curveball, straight change.
Ball, strike. He has 2 speeds of his curveball. He'll throw a hard one, and he'll throw one almost a change-up curveball. Just missed. 3 balls and 1 strike. Doc is among the league leaders in complete games with 4 of them. 2 shutouts, tied for the league lead in that department. Dykstra is aboard with a walk. Lenny leads the league in runs scored with 51.
And the Phillies continue to draw a lot of walks as they lead the league by a lot in that category. And it's one of the reasons why they've had such great run production this year, is because they have so many batters who walk.
Here's Mariano Duncan. Dunk batting at .257. Not a good lifetime hitter against Gooden. 172 lifetime. He has hit 1 career home run off him. Right there for a strike.
Gooden's a little bit better holding runners on than when he first came up, but has a decent move to first, but still has a fairly high leg kick to home plate, and you can run on him, so Dykstra might think about running.
Doc keeping him close. Dykstra's stolen 14 bases. He's been thrown out 4 times.
Gooden first came to the major leagues. He had hardly any move at all at first base because he wasn't used to that many people being on first. Well, he pitched an amateur ball and in the minors.
He broke in with a bang, was Rookie of the Year in 1984, 17-9 that year with a .260 ERA. Led the league in strikeouts with 276. Then he followed it up with an unbelievable year. Dykstra started, read the pitch out, and he stopped. 1 ball and 1 strike. In '85, he was the youngest player ever to win the Cy Young Award at age 20 when he went 24-4 with a 1.53 ERA. Just an incredible sophomore season.
Yeah, his first year in the major leagues, he was 19 years of age. He's just been a tremendous competitor too the whole time he's been in the big leagues. He's had some arm trouble the last couple years. You saw in the pregame tonight how Dallas Green talked about him. What a job he's done for him since he's been manager.
Dykstra goes, but Duncan fouls off the fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Doc is 70. Doc is 79 games over 500 in his career. .149-70. Dykstra goes again. He got a tremendous jump, and he's safe at second. Stolen base. Lenny Dykstra, his 15th.
Got a great jump, as Harry said, and there's also a curveball by Doc Gooden. So the combination of the pitch and the jump, and no matter what O'Brien does here, he can't get him. O'Brien does a pretty good job with a quick release of even making this a play. It shouldn't even been close.
Curveball hit on the ground to shortstop Bogar. Off balance throw in the dirt, dug out nicely by Murray, and Duncan is out. So Duncan did not move the runner, and the batter will be John Kruk.
It's pretty good base running by Dykstra then. He started to go when he saw that ball was hit to the right because it was hit slowly. But Bogart was playing fairly shallow, got on it quickly, and Lenny knew that he had a chance to get him at third. No sense in getting thrown out at third in that situation.
Here's Crocker. He's second in the league in hitting, batting at .360. Second in the league in on-base percentage, seventh in slugging percentage. Curveball that missed, 1 ball and no strikes. Lifetime against the Phillies, Gooden 15-10. Career ERA at 3.28. Congratulations to Judy Tucci and Joe Calmon, who will tie the knot tomorrow in Berlin. Ground ball hit to second base. McKnight throws out Kruk. Dykstra moves up to third. And with 2 outs, it'll bring on Darren Daulton. Dutch batting at .250. Second in the league in RBIs with 52. Lifetime against Gooden, he's a .275 hitter.
Happy anniversary number 43 to Joe and Teresa Fury from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
Fastball for a strike, 0-1 to Daulton. Janine Ivey, Kira and Steph watching the game back in Center City. Fastball is low, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Daulton with Dykstra at third base. 2 outs here in the first. Curveball that he beats foul at the plate. Ball and 2 strikes.
Gooden, when he first came into the league, had a high riding fastball that he was just a dominant strikeout pitcher with it. He changed after a couple of years. He still can throw that pitch, but you'll see him sink his fastball more now and run it away from left-handed batters. He'll still get his strikeouts, but he tries to get them to hit ground balls often.
Fastball just missed. 2-2.
That's what I mean. That's what he'll do. You know, he won't necessarily go after hitters go up the ladder the way that he did when he was younger.
Fastball tapped on the ground to shortstop. Bogart throws out Daulton, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left after 1/2. Phil's nothing. New York coming to bat.
So, I hear you're thinking about buying one of those high-priced sporty luxury cars. Well, they certainly come loaded and sure look great. Before you go off and spend all that money, let me just show you the Oldsmobile 88 Special Edition. It has standard features like anti-lock brakes, cruise, power windows and locks, an airbag, and more. And it costs only $18,995. It's your money.
Jet printers from Hewlett-Packard. It's easy to make it happen.
It's a replica of a 1933 Phillies cap, free from men 15 and over. Compliments of Texaco when the Phillies play the new Florida Marlins Sunday, June 20th at 1:35. Great way to cap off a weekend. Call 463-1.
Dallas Green's New York lineup tonight will have Vince Coleman in left field leading off. Charlie O'Brien catching, batting second. Eddie Murray first base hits third. Bobby Bonilla right fielder bats fourth. Darren Jackson in center field hitting fifth. Jeff Kent third base bats sixth. Jeff McKnight second base hitting seventh. Tim Bogart the shortstop bats eighth, and batting ninth and pitching Doc Gooden.
And on the mound for the Phillies, a 6-foot, 205-pound left-hander, 31 years of age, Danny Jackson from San Antonio, Texas, also a #1 pick by Kansas City in January of '82. There you see the numbers on Danny. Lifetime against New York, 5-3. He's coming off a win against Houston.
The Defensively behind Jackson, Kim Baptiste at third base, Mariano Duncan at short, Mickey Morandini at second, John Kruk at first, Aaron Dalton catching. In the outfield from left to right, Milt Thompson, Lenny Dykstra, and Jim Eisenreich. Vince Coleman leads it off, hitting at .252. Switch hitter, bats .203 right-handed, .271 left-handed. Jackson lifetime against New York is 5-3. Good career ERA of 2.29. One strike to Coleman. In the box as if to bunt, took the pitch. It was close, but called a ball. 1-1.
Haven't seen Coleman try to bunt in this series before that. The word had been that he's not going to do that much anymore. He has Kim Baptiste, the third baseman, in at third, even a little bit more after that.
He's high with it. It's 2-1. And a strike to Vince Coleman. Slams the ball to right field. That is a fair ball, and one hop and off the fence. Coleman will get an easy double on it. An opposite field double by Vince Coleman. And it'll bring up Charlie O'Brien. O'Brien could possibly bunt here.
Coleman got a fastball out over the plate and just went the other way with it. Danny Jackson got behind in the count. There you see the ball up in the strike zone. He hits it hard to right field, an easy double for him.
With Doc Gooden pitching, we'll try to get early runs and figure they don't have to get a whole lot of runs to win the game.
Right. What they'll do in this situation with O'Brien is Dallas Green will decide whether or not he'll let him work the ball to the right side, whether he's capable of that, or whether he would rather try and bunt the ball and move the runner over.
Charlie O'Brien hitting at .216. He is going to bunt the ball, and he bunts it nicely. Fielded by Danny Jackson, throws O'Brien out, but the sacrifice is good. Coleman dancing off the line in third because nobody is at third, but Mickey Morandini running the ball in.
Jackson's really a good athlete and a good fielder, but he made a play there that he really didn't need to make, and he was a little out of control for a while. Baptiste had that play perfectly. There was nobody covering third, so there's really no reason for Danny to make this play unless he thought that Baptiste was covering third. You see what happened there? He could have slipped. Something could have gone wrong. And there was no need for him really to be there to make that play.
Here's Eddie Murray hitting at .271, batting at .204 right-handed, .255 left-handed. Slider for a strike to him, 0-1. Murray lifetime is hitting .268 against Danny Jackson.
Only way they wouldn't get a run here is if a ball should be hit sharply to Kruk at first. He's the only infielder up.
Check swing, foul ball, 0-2. Vince Coleman at third base with one out here in the bottom of the first. Inside, almost hit him, a ball and 2 strikes.
So Jackson did well in his start against Houston, was pitch inside. He had a good fastball, a good live, hard breaking ball inside to the right-handed batters. And when Danny can do that, that's when he's most effective.
Low with it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Eddie Murray. count to Murray. Bobby Bonilla due up next.
He's gotten ahead of Murray 0-2. You see the bench looking on there. And what he's tried to do is strike him out. Instead of letting him make contact and get an easy run for New York. And as a result, he's had the ball down to him, and Murray hasn't chased any of those pitches because they really haven't been the kind that you're going to chase.
Missed with a slider. He walked him. So the Mets have runners at first and third with one out for Bobby Bonilla. He's been a hot hitter. Hitting at .259, tied for second in the league in homers with 16. He's knocked in 40. Sixth in the league in slugging percentage.
Phillies will now put their infield at double play depth and hope they can get Bonilla to hit him double play and get out of the inning.
Lifetime Bobby Bo at .241 hitter against Danny Jackson. He has hit 2 career home runs off him. Chase the low pitch.
That's a pitch Harry was trying to get Murray to chase the hole at bat. A slider down, and Bonilla went after it.
No balls and a strike to Bobby Bonilla. Chops the ball softly foul. Broke his bat on the foul ball. Banged himself in the helmet. Well, maybe he didn't break his bat. No, he didn't. He just didn't like his swing at that particular pitch.
He just put on that little act of his, that's all, where he strolls around, hits himself in the head with a helmet. Murray heads back to first.
He's in the hole, 0-2. Bowman at third, Murray at first with one out. Struck him out. That's a big strikeout for Danny Jackson. Not a good at bat for Bonilla. I don't believe he had a strike in the hole at bat, and he swung at all 3 pitches. 2 down.
Everything that Murray did not do, Bonilla did do for Jackson. He kept chasing the sliders in the dirt or down. And as Harry said, they were not in the strike zone, but he got more and more defensive as he got behind in the count and kept on chasing them.
Here's Darren Jackson in his first game as a Met, just over from Toronto in the Tony Fernandez deal. He has great lifetime numbers against Jackson. 9 for 18 with 2 homers.
Phillies always felt that this guy was a dead middle in hitter and a high ball hitter. Maybe as we see his Toronto numbers there, he didn't hit much up there. Maybe they'll have Jackson change his approach to him a little bit.
Tried to bunt for a hit.
What was that?
I don't know. Maybe just figuring Baptiste is strange to third base and could beat out a bunt hit. But
what were those numbers you gave on him against Danny Jackson?
9 for 18.
No, you don't bunt.
I wouldn't think so.
With 2 outs.
Ground ball. Mickey Morandini throws out Jackson, and that'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. After 1, 0-0.
When you were a child, you were told we're all created equal. But now that you're a little older, you see things a bit differently. The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It's roomier, quieter, and rides smoother than cars costing thousands more. Maybe we are all created equal, but it doesn't have to stay that way. See your New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania area Lexus dealer for treatment that's unequaled.
The metal cylinder is secured and turned in a counterclockwise motion, causing the internal rating to rise and disengage. It's easy to make something as simple as opening a jar complex. The challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile. We take cutting-edge technology and place it comfortably in your hands. Bell Atlantic Mobile. Advanced technology and people will make it mean something.
What's he doing? Better humor him.
Okay,
I'm here to show you the new Panasonic Palm Quarter camcorder with digital image stabilizer.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
It helps hold the picture steady even when your hand shakes this much. And Palm Quarter tapes can play in any VHS recorder. So why buy a camcorder whose tapes can't play in your VCR?
I don't know.
The choice is obvious. The Panasonic Palm Quarter. Its tapes will play in your VCR.
After 1 inning of play, it's the Phils nothing and New York nothing. Upcoming Phillies telecasts include tomorrow afternoon's final game of this Mets series. Will be on the air at 1 o'clock for the pregame show, followed by the game at 1:30. Then Monday night's opening game of the Expos series starting at 7:30.
Happy golden wedding anniversary to Charles and Grace Hartman of Pottsville, 50 years, and happy birthday number 85 to Lillian Madsen of Philadelphia.
Jim Eisenreich leads it off for the Phils. Looks at a strike. Eisenreich hitting at .360. Never faced Doc Gooden before. Coming over from the American League. 1 ball and 1 strike. Beats the fastball foul. 1-2. With a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Curt Schilling in the Phils dugout. What a great effort he gave them last night. Jim Fregosi really happy with what Schilling did.
Curveball got him. Eisenreich knew it. He's called out on strikes. First strikeout for Doc. 1 down here in the second.
That's a pitch where a hitter, as you look at Schilling there, talking Johnny Padres, where a hitter gets totally fooled on it and takes the pitch because there's nothing else he can do. His knee buckles. Watch his front. Whoops. Just hope it's a ball.
There's Milt Thompson, and Doc Gooden has given Thompson fits in his career. Milt is 0 for 23 lifetime against the Doc.
Saw those numbers of Eddie Murray's last night. He wound up, what, 0 for 19 now against Curt Schilling. So similar numbers.
Yeah.
Doc probably throws him a lot of curveballs.
Broken bat chopper to second base, and McKnight just gets Milt Thompson. That's 2 down, and that'll bring on Kim Baptiste.
It's a really surprising numbers for a guy like Thompson off a hard thrower. He started him with a curveball, then threw a fastball, jammed him, broke his bat, and McKnight playing at second base throws him out by a step.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies. Baptiste hitting at .333, hit his 3rd home run of the year here last night. Fouls it back and out of play. No balls and a strike to Kim Baptiste. Curveball, good one. 0-2.
Yeah, that's even worse for a hitter from the right side when he throws that at you, because he throws it right at the hitter, and then here it comes over the plate.
Fastball wide, 1-2.
Gooden looks like he's healthy again. I mean, he's never going to throw like he did in those early years that Harry mentioned, but he's still a quality pitcher.
Curveball locked in, just missed with it a little bit high.
It's a Nolan Ryan type curveball where a right-handed batter is almost defenseless against it when he's throwing it well. And they'll almost always take it. You just hope he's missing with it.
Another deuce is hit on the ground at third base. Kent throws across in time to get Baptiste. Now retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the second, 0-0.
The Phillies close out a 4-game set in the city that never sleeps with their Eastern Division rivals, the New York Mets, tomorrow afternoon on PHL 17. Bobby Bonilla and the Mets are trying to climb back into the pennant race, but Lenny Dykstra and the Fightin' Phils intend on staying 1 step ahead. Be there as the Phils take on the Mets tomorrow afternoon at 1:30, following Neil Heitman at the pregame show at 1 on PHL 17.
We play the Phillies on 17.
Phils Mets tomorrow at 1:30. The Phillies are making fireworks during the games, and we've got 2 spectacular fireworks shows after the San Diego games. Friday, July 2nd, when a doubleheader starts at 4:35, and Saturday, July 3rd at 7:05. Then all kids 14 and under get a free batting helmet when the series wraps up Sunday night, July 4th at 8:05. 2 fireworks spectaculars, free batting helmets, great baseball. Call 463-1000.
If you want a tough American-built truck, and you've been waiting for the best time to buy your new truck, then see your Quality Plus Ford dealer. June is Ford Truck Month. Save on every #1 selling truck in stock, including F-150s, Explorers, Aerostars, Econoline vans, and the all-new Ranger. Get double bonus discounts and special rebates for a limited time. Hurry, Ford Truck Month. Ends soon. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer today.
You better hit the ground running in a new Ford truck.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think? Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
Well, it'll be the 10th reunion of the 1983 National League champion Phils taking on a team of Major League All-Stars in the Upper Deck Heroes baseball game on Saturday, a week from tonight at Veterans Stadium. That game starts at 6. Then the Phils and the Florida Marlins at 7:30. Mike Schmidt, Tug McGraw, Sarge Matthews, Gary Maddox, Von Hayes, John Denny, Tony Perez will all be on hand. So plan to be there for the Upper Deck Heroes baseball game. For tickets, call 463-1000. Jeff Kent fouls one back and out of play. No balls and a strike. Kent hitting at .224. He was their everyday second baseman, who was making a lot of errors at second. Playing third tonight, Howard Johnson is out and has been for this series. Line shot hit to left field. They don't really know what's the matter with Howard Johnson. He's had several tests. He's had numbness of the joints, dizzy spells. I don't know what's the matter with Ojo.
It's a fastball out over the plate from Danny Jackson, and Duncan trying to time his leap and the ball over his glove into left field for a base hit. Yeah, they're very concerned about Howard Johnson. They know he won't play this weekend, and they don't know really when he's going to play again.
Ojo is the subject of trade rumors that, if healthy and when healthy, that Mets might move him, and that he could opt for free agency. After this year, Jeff McKnight fouls it off.
Well, their house cleaning started yesterday when Tony Fernandez was dealt. Now, that's just the old tip of the iceberg with the New York Mets. They're going to move a lot of people here. He will not recognize this team next year.
Well, I think they will make quite a few moves. They have indicated as much. Dallas Green and Al Harrison.
Yeah, they have a lot of players on this team you think should be doing better than they are, but they just have a bad mix.
1 ball and 1 strike to McKnight.
Where the Phillies have the real good clubhouse camaraderie and the players that really get along and all the things that are helping them this year, the Mets just don't have that. And Dallas Green, I think he's down there on a recon right now for the whole season just to find out who should be here and who shouldn't.
Fouls it out of play, trying to hit behind the runner. 1-2. Hojo certainly does not figure in that because Howard Johnson would fit in with any team anywhere. He's a good guy and a good player and a hard-nosed player. So that wouldn't be a reason why they would think about dealing Hojo, just to rebuild their ball club.
Yeah, they try and trade him, get 3 players for him or something. You know, one of those kind of deals where they could start rebuilding.
Missing. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Happy birthday, number 87, to Nedra Brand of Mountjoy, and Alice Luke of Paoli. She's 89.
2 balls and 2 strikes to McKnight. Count at first base. Nobody out here in the second. 0-0 game. Struck him out with a slider. Second strikeout for Danny Jackson. 1 down here in the second. It'll bring on Tim Bogar.
This ball is up a little bit, but McKnight swings through it. He's not hitting much. See that? That's a ball that you know, Danny likes that slider, but it's not a good one. It's, you know, he gets a strikeout on it, but it's one that he hung a little bit, and maybe a better right-handed batter would have put that one in play and hit it hard.
Bogar batting at 196. Getting a chance to play now with the trade of Tony Fernandez. A step-off move by Danny Jackson that he learned from Terry Mulholland. He doesn't throw it nearly as hard to first as Mulholland does, but picked it up as an element of surprise. A new look for him. 1 ball and no strikes.
There's Terry Mulholland, who has that step-off move, and he's having trouble picking anybody off this year because nobody takes a lead on him.
Only Jim Tatum.
Yeah, Jim Tatum. Poor guy in Colorado had no clue, did he?
Got hit by a pitch ball, took a good-sized lead.
225 pounds taking that kind of lead off Mulholland.
Buck was playing first that day and said, man, it's tough when you get hit by a pitch and then you get picked off as he tagged him out.
That's right, yeah.
then you get picked off. There's the Crucker.
Crucker trying to battle through that sore knee after he ran into Hundley here the other night at home plate.
Ball and a strike to Bogar. Taps a foul.
Nice catch by John Vukovich in the dugout.
And throws it into the stands for a souvenir for a fan. He's all hard, Vuk.
Well, yeah, he's showing those hands. Well, it's a good thing he had good hands, you know. Look at Dallas looking at him. Dallas Green once hired Vuk to manage the Cubs. Lasted about 2 hours. Then Dallas resigned, and the Phillies hired Vukovich as a coach. They are great friends, those two.
Dallas might not get Lee Elia back with him next year. Lee in Seattle is the dugout coach for Lou Piniella.
Well, I'm sure they'll talk about it, because Dallas, that's another guy that Dallas Green thinks the world of, Lee Elia. Lee was coach for him with the Yankees, of course, managed for Dallas in Chicago.
Missing, it's a full count to Bogar.
See how aggressive they get here. You normally don't run that often in this situation because a strikeout double play, you lead off with the pitcher.
But Gooden can hit.
Right, and so you'd like to have Gooden come up in this inning. You're not necessarily trying to get him out of the way as a hitter. I wouldn't think they'd run.
Little tapper up the middle, fielded by Moore and Beatty, double play. His Whiteness, our colleague, suggested that with this lineup, Doc ought to be hitting 6th or 7th.
I'm sure Bogar would love that comment.
Yeah. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. At the end of 2, it's 0-0.
If you want your car done right, it has to be done by the right people.
We take care of our customers. We do the job right.
Quality all the way.
Experience counts. The customer comes first. Satisfaction guaranteed.
We're only as good as our people. That's why Jiffy Lube is America's favorite oil change.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
This is a line. To some, it is seen as a barrier. To others, it's a point where traditions of the past are abandoned in favor of visions of the future. Introducing the revolutionary new Toyota Supra. It's taken everything sports cars were before and crossed the line.
It's the 10th reunion of the National League champs. The 83 Phillies play an 83 All-Star team Saturday, June 19th, 6 p.m. in the Heroes of Baseball game, compliments of Upper Deck. Before the Phillies play the Marlins at 7:35. Call 463-1000.
Our trivia question tonight. In 1961, the New York Yankees set the record for the most homers in a season, 240 home runs. Maris, of course, hit his record-breaking 61. Mantle had 54. Yankees had 4 other players that year with 20 or more home runs. Can you name them? Mickey Morandini leads it off. 1 strike to him. Mickey hitting at 232. Mickey's been a good lifetime hitter against Doc Gooden. 375 lifetime. 1 ball and 1 strike. Missing, it's 2-1. That one over, 2-2. Curveball high with it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Him out. Second strikeout for Doc. 1 down here in the 3rd. That'll bring up Danny Jackson.
How we mentioned earlier that he goes down and away from left-handed batters now. Well, that's what he's done to Dalton to get him out on a ground ball to short, and he goes down and away from Mickey Morandini to get him out. It's a very different Doc Gooden than the guy that broke into the league with such great flourish a number of years ago, but still a very fine pitcher.
Danny Jackson hitting at 120. Fouls off a fastball. Ball and 1 strike. One out, no base runners. Ball and 2 strikes. Curveball. Got him. 3rd strikeout for Doc. 2 down here in the 3rd. It'll bring up Lenny Dykstra. He's been the only Phillies base runner. He walked his first time up. Doc Gooden here at home is 5-3. His ERA at Shea this year is 1.92. A week from tomorrow at Veterans Stadium is Camp Day for all men 15 and over. Nostalgic style Phillies baseball caps. This year's will be from the 33 uniforms. Compliments of Texaco. It's the Phils and the Marlins that day at 1:35. For tickets, call 463-1000. Drive into left center field, shallow, and Darren Jackson can't come up with it. Dykstra will hold at first as Jackson quickly recovers. Single to left center for Lenny Dykstra. Phillies' first hit of the night, and that'll bring up Mariano Duncan.
Darren Jackson, for some reason, has sunglasses on his cap out there. Wonder why guys do that. Here he comes in. He's playing shallow, so he had a chance to catch that ball, and then it bounces away, and he keeps it in front of him. He'll play more shallow than the other 2 guys who are out there. Orsulak and Gallagher have done a pretty good job for New York.
Dykstra going on the first pitch. He slides head first, not anticipating the ball getting by O'Brien. Stolen base for Lenny, his 2nd of the night, his 16th of the year.
Whether Lenny can pick up Doc Gooden gripping the curveball in his glove, or whether he's just been fortunate and run both times on breaking balls with Lenny, he makes such a study of the game, it's possible. But to break that way on the first pitch, you almost think that he knew a curveball was going to be thrown there.
1 ball and no strikes to Mariano Duncan. Curveball grounded up the middle, a base hit center field. Lenny Dykstra will score. Phillies take a 1-0 lead here in the third. An RBI single by Duncan. And Dykstra crosses the plate for the 52nd time this year.
Dykstra just doing a great job now out of the leadoff spot. The Lenny Dykstra we've seen around here for so many years now when he's healthy. And he's just a perfect table setter. He steals a base on the first pitch. And then the breaking ball, Duncan hits it right back through the middle. He scores easily. Nothing Darren Jackson can do about this.
So the Phils take a 1-0 lead, and the batter will be John Kruk, who grounded out his first time up. High with a fastball, 1-0.
Birthday wishes tonight to Helen Rothermel of Lewistown, Pennsylvania, and to Patrick Bork of Edders, PA.
Had a cut, he fouled it back. 1 ball and 1 strike to Kruk. Kruk lifetime .277 against Doc. He has hit 2 career homers off him. Duncan started and stopped, and Kruk takes a breaking ball for a strike, 1-2.
Well, he went a long way to stop. I don't know whether Duncan thought he saw a pitch out then or not, because the pitch was, you know, running away from Kruk, because he sure threw on the brakes.
Ball and 2 strikes to John Kruk.
O'Brien just gave Doc Gooden a sign to move over to first because of the jump that Duncan had got. You could see the way he just flapped his hand. That meant move over there.
Duncan again starting and stopping. 2-2 the count to John Kruk.
There's a sign for Kruk. And the security guard just told him to put it down.
Now Duncan goes, but it doesn't matter. Got him with a curveball. Doc strikes out the side. He has 4 strikeouts now, but the Phillies get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Phillies.
First, Roy Rogers introduced their juicy bacon cheeseburger on sourdough bread. Then they introduced Roy's real roast beef on sourdough bread. And now there's Roy's great tasting sourdough grilled chicken sandwich with Monterey Jack cheese and Hellman's Dijonnaise. Yep, looks like Roy's sandwiches are really on a roll.
I thought you said they were on sourdough bread.
I did.
He said roll.
Yeah, roll.
That's what he said. You see,
Roll
I was right.
bread. Roll bread.
What do you mean
sourdough
roll
bread?
bread? There's no such thing as a roll.
Roy Rogers.
Bert sells balloons. Bob sells balloons. Bert sells wacky gifts. Bob sells wacky gifts. Bert delivers. Bob delivers. So if Bob's got everything Bert's got, why is Bert busy and Bob not? Now, do you suppose Bert's got a big color ad in the book 9 out of 10 people use? The genuine Bella Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. 9 out of 10 use it. No other book can match it. A Bella Latin cover.
Budweiser and the Phillies are celebrating the 4th of July holiday weekend with the Bud Summer Baseball Bash. It's a special tent party outside Veterans Stadium on Monday, July 5th before the Phillies-Dodgers game. Right now, be the 17th caller to 1-800-432-1745 and win 4 tickets to the party and the game. You'll join us for food, music, and surprises, and then watch the Phillies play the Dodgers. It's the Bud Summer Baseball Bash with Budweiser and the Phils. So bring on the Dodgers and bring on the Bud.
Tonight's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Budweiser. Fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your Bud. Buy Your Quality Plus 4 dealers would invite you to come in and test drive the brand new 1993 Pro. And by Pizza Hut. Call Pizza Hut delivery now and have your pizza by the 6th inning. Doc Gooden leads it off. Chases a high fastball. Doc batting at .297. He has hit a home run. Lifetime, he's hit 6 homers. Has a career average of .203. So he helps himself with the bat. Took a strike there. Doc thought it was low.
It was. But he's not going to argue with Hirschbeck because he thinks, well, maybe I'll get one of them later.
Fouls it back, still 0-2. Couldn't let all National League pitchers and RBIs last year with 9 of them.
He won that Silver Slugger Award for pitchers.
Looks like a hitter.
You know what he looks like is a great athlete.
Yeah.
That's what he is. I mean, you look at Doc Gooden, you figure he could play just about any sport he wanted and excelled.
0-2, it holds to him. Can't be time for the slide ball. High, 1-2.
Well, he stuck Danny Jackson out on a nasty curveball. So Jackson might try to come back and get him with something like that.
Ball and 2 strikes to Doc Gooden. Phils lead 1-0. We are in the 3rd. Fly ball lofted to right field. Eisenreich near the line makes the grab. Doc's retired, 1 down. That'll bring on Vince Coleman. He had an opposite field double his first time up. Our trivia question tonight. 1961, the New York Yankees set the record for most homers with 240. Maris hit his record-breaking 61, and Mantle had 54. There were 4 other players that had 20 or more home runs. Can you name them from that Yankee team of 61?
Well, Moose Skowron might be one of them.
Yeah, 28 for Moose.
I got to think that Elston Howard hit 20 home runs.
That is correct. 21 for Elston Howard.
Was Hank Bauer on that club?
I don't know. I don't think he was.
Well, then because he would have hit 20 home runs. All right, so that's not one of them. Oh, boy. You figure Richardson didn't. Figure Kubek wasn't a home run hitter. Clete Boyer wasn't a home run hitter. I don't know after those 2.
Ain't over till it's over.
Yogi.
Yogi?
Yeah, of course. Right, because Yogi played the outfield.
Some left field that year.
That's right. Yogi played the... Because he was standing there when Mazeroski's home run went out in 1960.
He hit 22, and that Johnny Blanchard hit 21 that year.
He was a catcher also.
Yeah, interesting.
Where did he...
Howard, Blanchard.
You figure how those guys all get that playing time without a DH in those days, hit that many homers.
Struck him out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Danny Jackson. 2 down here in the 3rd. It'll bring on Charlie O'Brien, who sacrificed his first time up.
Have another golden wedding anniversary. Mr. and Mrs. Vernon Mahana of Hempstead, Maryland. 50 years. Congratulations. That's belated.
Two outs and no base runners here in the 3rd. 1-0 Phillies. Ball and no strikes to Charlie O'Brien. Hits the ball to center. Lenny Dykstra has it lined up, and that'll retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. The end of 3. Rich Ashburn will be joining Chris Wheeler in the 4th. After 3, it's 1-0 Phillies.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning, and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
If you live to punch, lift, run, kick, serve, sweat, volley, catch, dive, jump, reject, dominate, and celebrate, try new Powerade, the official sports drink of the Olympic Games, with 33% more carbohydrates for energy than Gatorade, and great taste, so you can pick up, slam down, and soak in all 32 ounces. Powerade, more power to you.
Cadillac has the answers important to you.
You feel better driving out of town, don't you?
Isn't it great having someone to call?
It says quality, doesn't it?
When you ask yourself what is important in a car, think of the questions you ask every day. Then think of the car with the answers important to you. The Cadillac DeVille, which also offers a financial answer. A $2,000 bonus direct from Cadillac. The Cadillac DeVille. See your Cadillac Super Network dealers.
Business Person Special number 2 is coming up on Wednesday, June the 23rd at 12:35 when the Atlanta Braves come to town. Get your excuses ready and come on out. The day is compliments of Mellon PSFS. Call 463-1000 for your tickets. Phillies with a run on 2 hits and no errors. The Mets on no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Good pitching with Doc Gooden and Danny Jackson. Rich Ashburn joins us in the 4th inning.
Where would you rather be, Wheels, than here at the ballpark on a beautiful night like this?
Watching these 2 guys go after each other. And Darren Dalton batting against Gooden, and he beats it foul first base side. Great play by the ball girl. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL-TV, Philadelphia.
Dalton grounded to short his first time up, takes a fastball inside. Gooden hasn't walked anybody, and he's struck out 4 through the first 3 innings. Dalton batting in the cleanup spot tonight, then Jim Eisenreich and Milt Thompson to follow. 3 straight left-handed batters to oppose Gooden here in the 4th.
Dalton ought to get a ball to hit here.
2 balls and 1 strike to Dalton. Ground ball to second. Murray left the bag, and Gooden has to get over there, and he does. What a fine play by Doc Gooden as McKnight throws him out 4-1, 1 away.
Doc is a pretty good fielder in that he does get over there and cover the bag quickly.
Boy, Murray was in no man's land there.
He should have stayed home, really, but they got away with it.
There's McKnight feeding and Gooden covering and a perfect hookup. Eisenreich, the batter, he struck out his first time up. First time he'd ever faced Gooden. Curveball misses, ball 1.
I think the defense has a tendency to play better behind Gooden also, because they know he's going to throw strikes. They're on their toes all the time, and he's a super pitcher. You want that guy to win if you can.
You know you have a chance every night when he goes out there. Grounded to Bogart, gets a big hop, throws out Eisenreich. 2 up and 2 down in the 4th. Gooden coming into the game tonight, 7-4 with a good earned run average of 2.72. And he's won 3 in a row. In his last 3 starts, he has an ERA of 2.18. So he's been pitching really well for New York. Milt Thompson, the batter, 0 for 24 lifetime off Gooden after grounding out his last time up to second base. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, it is, because Milt's a contact hitter. You'd think one of those would fall in. That's how he got him out last time with that inside corner fastball. It broke his bat.
Hit the ground ball to the second baseman, McKnight. Here's the 0-2, fouled away.
He'll probably come in tight on Milt again, where almost everybody tries to pitch Thompson. Hard stuff in on him. Whoa. Was that in on him?
It hit him.
Ticked his uniform, I believe. Yes, it did.
He saw his light flash in front of his face, too, as he went down, and the ball did hit him. That hit batter, so the Phillies have a 2-out base runner here in the 4th inning on the hit batsman.
And Milt has stolen 7 bases. He should try to run here with 2 outs.
What do you think that hit him? Just brushed his uniform?
Just got his uniform. You could hear it. Must have nicked a button, because you could hear it.
Yeah, it couldn't have hit much. Dykstra's run twice tonight and stolen a base. Here's the pitch to Batiste. Fastball over. He grounded to third his first time up. 2 outs and Thompson on at first. Phil's 1, Mets nothing. We're in the 4th. Fly ball left field, pretty deep. Coleman back, still going back. He can't get it. It's off his glove. Thompson steaming around third, and he'll score. Batiste safe at second on a ball that Coleman should have handled.
Yeah, the fans don't like that. They want to see those balls caught, and Coleman should have caught it. He got to it. He got leather on it. He coasted back after it. Now, if he'd gotten back there a little quicker, it wouldn't have been. That was a curveball, and Batiste gave it a pretty good ride. He went up off the end of his glove, but if he had fired back there in the beginning, he would have had an easier play.
Looks like they're scoring it a double and an RBI for Kim Batiste, his 12th of the year and his 4th of the series. And the Phillies lead it 2-0. And Morandini, the batter. Line drive, that's a fair ball heading towards the corner. Batiste scores easily. Mickey on his way to second. He's coming around second. He'll go to third, and he's going to have a stand-up triple. Mickey Morandini with a triple, his 4th of the year, and the Phillies have another run, lead at 3-0.
Well, I'll blame that on Vince Coleman, but Mickey Morandini really ripped that curveball. Mickey has hit Doc good and well in his career. Ball was a bullet down that line into the corner. You know who will appreciate Batiste hit more than anybody?
Dave Hollins.
Dave Hollins.
Who is a team guy, probably watching at home. We miss you, and look forward to seeing Dave next week when the club gets back to town. Danny Jackson, the batter, and it's over for a strike. A lot of the guys talking about Dave last night, and I know Pete Incaviglia and Darren Dalton had a talk with him. Want us to say hi to him back home. Swing and a miss at a curveball. So the Phillies have picked up all their runs in this game now with 2 outs. They got 1 in the 3rd with 2 outs, and now 2 here in the 4th to lead it 3-0. Well, for Doc Gooden, who's throwing the ball really well tonight. Jackson tries to check. He can. He strikes out. That's strikeout number 5 for Gooden. The Phillies in the inning pick up 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Phillies lead at 3-0.
Seen a red-headed girl in a green dress?
He's born to be wild.
Ow!
He's born to be cool.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all beautiful people.
And now he's born to run.
Help! I've been deported!
Cheech Marin.
I was born in East LA!
Sunday at 4 on PHL 17.
This is a request from Oldsmobile to Honda. Please don't raise the price of your Accord DX anymore. Because every time you do, we have to change our Achieva commercials. So ixnay with the price increases. All this re-editing is getting expensive. It's your choice.
Jet printers from Hewlett-Packard. It's easy to make it happen.
Phil's return against the Florida Marlins. They're playing great baseball. 4-game series beginning next Thursday. Don't forget the Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball game a week from tonight. That will begin at 6 o'clock. Then Cap Day for men on Sunday. The Braves come afterwards for 3 games. Monday night, Tuesday night at 7:35. Then that business person special on Wednesday at 12:35. Call 463-1000. Get your tickets. Phil's 3 and the Mets nothing as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. That hit batsman, Whitey, on the 2-strike pitch to Thompson. The ball that just barely grazed him was quite fortuitous, to say the least.
Well, that sometimes happens even against the best of pitchers.
Well, you said he was going to pitch him inside, and he busted him inside and just barely ticked him. Then the double by Batista, triple by Morandini, 2-run score. Eddie Murray, the batter, he fouls it out of play. He walked his first time up. Congratulations today to Seth Cornish and Jennifer Kennard. They were married at Beaver College. John Kennard, a good friend of the Phillies, brings a lot of groups to the ballpark, and congratulations to those two. Fouled away right below us and into the crowd. No balls and 2 strikes on Murray.
Rita Ernest, 65th birthday today in Ridley Park.
Check swing by Murray. It'll go foul, first base side. You just cleaned out your pockets, huh?
And we have a birthday for Joe Schrum in Gladwin. He'll be 80 years old. Must be a neighbor.
Playing that Philly Country Club, huh? No balls and 2 strikes to Murray. Struck him out. Murray went out of the strike zone, chased a bad ball, and Jackson has his 4th strikeout, 1 away for Bobby Bonilla. Bonilla's strikeout victim in the first inning, a big strikeout at the time for Jackson, as Coleman was at third and Murray on at first and only 1 out at the time. The Mets didn't score in the inning.
Have a birthday for Dwayne Trowbridge in Deptford, New Jersey.
Bonilla has chased 4 straight balls out of the strike zone. Jackson struck him out on 3 pitches in the first inning.
All 3 of them, 2 of them were almost in the dirt.
Sliders. Hits that one off the end of the bat to Batiste. Strong throw, got him 2 down. Center fielder Kim Batiste starting his 2nd game at third base and replacing Dave Hollins. Will have that surgery on Tuesday. And Batiste knocking in 3 runs last night, knocking in 1 in this ball game.
We have a wedding anniversary today. Doug and Judy Everett down in York. They're in the middle of some Phillies fans and Orioles fans down there.
Yeah, that's a constant battle in that part of the country for their affections, for whether you're an Orioles fan or
that's a great
Bills
area,
fan.
that York area.
Here's Darren Jackson. Jackson is 2nd at bat for New York. He grounded out his first time up, chases a high fastball. Jackson firing tonight, 0-2 now on Jackson to Jackson.
Well, he's been throwing well right from the get-go. He really came out of the bullpen with good stuff.
He's been a kind of a hard luck guy. Hirschbeck almost called him out, didn't. Phillies have had some leads that Danny Jackson has left the ball game, and then they haven't been able to put the team away. Last time Jackson won his ball game against Houston. This guy, Darren Jackson, at the plate coming into the game tonight, 9 for 18 lifetime off Danny with 2 homers when he was with the Cubs and the Padres.
I don't think Danny was throwing as well then. You know, he had some arm problems there for a couple of years. He's throwing now the way he threw with Cincinnati.
Another ground ball. Duncan will throw on the run, and he got him. Strong inning for Danny Jackson. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Through 4, Phil's 3, and the Mets nothing.
When Bob borrowed a lawnmower, all he got was short grass. When Bob borrowed hedge clippers, all he got was nice shrubs. When Bob borrowed a ladder, all he got was red shutters. When Bob borrowed a hose, all he got was wet. But when Bob borrowed money, he got indispensable banking services. The Mellon PSFS Smart Accounts. The package accounts for people who borrow as well as save.
From 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to right here in Pennsylvania, people are searching for new choices in health care.
The costs are strangling me.
Which inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new personal choice.
It seems like you always have to give something up.
A health plan that gives people the benefits of an HMO.
No one has the right to tell me what doctor I can see.
Without asking them to give up their freedom. Personal choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
This is your world, genuine and true.
Phillies lead 3-0. They scored their first run in the third with 2 outs. A Dykstra bloop single, a stolen base, a Duncan RBI with 2 outs in the fourth. A hit batsman, a double, and a triple. And that's how we stand, 3-0, top of the fifth.
And here is Lenny Dykstra on a perfect night. A walk, that single Whitey talked about. He scored a run, stolen 2 bases. Fouled away left side. Lenny now with 16 steals on the year and leading the league in runs scored. Dykstra, Duncan, and Kruk to face Doc Gooden here in the 5th inning. Phillies lead at 3-0, 3-4-0, and 0-2-0 from New York. This is outside.
Lenny said when he was hitting .230, he said, of course, Lenny says a lot of things maybe he shouldn't say, but he said somebody's going to have to pay for this.
Yeah.
And they have.
He said he'd be hitting .300 at the end of June.
He's hitting .285 right now.
Fouls a fastball away and out of play left side. Oh, and you're as supremely confident in your abilities the way Lenny Dykstra is. Say those kind of things because you really believe you're going to do them. And who's to say he won't?
Sometimes think it's better to believe you're going to do them but not say anything.
Well, yeah, absolutely. A great catch by the second baseman McKnight. Dykstra hit a line shot off a curveball, and McKnight leaped in the air and grabbed it and robbed him one away.
Yeah, he almost ran out of arm. Watch him go up and right in the webbing of that glove.
He didn't get very high in the air.
No, he didn't. he jumped, but he didn't get too high.
No, so it fooled me on it because his feet hardly left the ground. Here's Duncan, who got a base hit his last time up, knocked in his 27th run of the year. Mariano 1 for 2 in the ball game. New York Mets have just made another deal. It's just a minor deal. They sent Wayne Halsey out the other day, an infielder, and they've just traded him to Milwaukee in exchange for one of my favorite players, a right-handed pitcher by the name of Josias Manzanillo.
He's coming in the league?
Yeah.
Don't want to hear it.
We had him in spring training a couple times. I had to do him on the PA system. Have some fun with that name. He is a right-hander out of San Pedro de Macorís, 25 years of age. Originally out of the Boston Red Sox organization, Josias Manzanillo, now a New York Met. Here's the pitch to Duncan. Fly ball center field. It's hit well. Darren Jackson got a good jump on it, and he's there, waits, grabs it, 2 down. Duncan hit it well, but right to the center fielder.
Well, they have 2 outs now. They can go to work.
Yeah, that's right. Phillies have scored all their runs tonight, 3 of them with 2 outs. 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Here's Kruk, 0 for 2. John hitless in the ball game last night. And so he's 0 for his last 6. Kruk coming into the game at 360. Harry Bonds back to leading the league, coming into play today at 369. Kruk battling a sore knee, and he injured here in the ball game the other night at home plate. Fastball strike called, 1-1. On deck is Dalton. 2 outs, nobody on base in the 5th.
That doesn't help the knee either when you have to skip rope to get out of the way of one of those low inside pitches. His legs have to move in a hurry.
Count 2-2 now on John Kruk. As Jim Fregosi looks on with hitting coach Dennis Menke. They sit and talk hitting a lot during the game. 2-2 pitch to Kruk.
Ooh. Ooh.
A little low?
No, it wasn't low. It must have been outside, but it was close.
3-2 to Kruk. Breaking ball, and he missed with it. Walk number 2 issued by Doc Gooden. Kruk just froze on that 3-2 curveball and just hoped he missed.
Gooden had him if it had been a strike.
And Darren Dalton, he's grounded to short and then grounded to second baseman McKnight, who teamed up with Gooden on a 4-1 hookup. Darren 0 for 2. And staying away from him so far has Doc Gooden. Kruk leading the league in walks with 50 of them. Phillies leading the league as a team in walks. Now they have 244 walks. Darren Daulton has 49. 2 balls and no strikes, the Dutch. Gets the 2-0 curveball over.
Yeah, Daulton sitting on the fastball, which is what most good hitters will do at 2-0, but he didn't get it.
And he did what most good hitters will do, take it. Now it's 3-1. See how Gooden approaches him if he comes back with a breaking ball. Kruk is on first and Eisenreich on deck.
The only thing worse than taking that pitch is swinging at it. If you're not looking for it.
You're not going to hit it, that's for sure. Fastball, and he had a good swing at it, fouled it back. So the count now 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Kruk will be off on the pitch. Eddie Murray will probably back up.
Daulton saw that 2-0 curve, and so, you know, it's in his mind that he could get a 3-2 curve. He's up there kind of looking for him.
Trip for 4 to the Phillies.
Ended at midnight.
Here in the booth, and her assistant tonight, Sue Perloff, wants to say hi to Elliot Goldman back in Philadelphia. Jeff Kent will lead it off, followed by McKnight and Bogar.
Detroit club leads Toronto 7-0.
Toronto is really struggling all of a sudden. The Detroit coming into play tonight with a 3-game lead. The Orioles are hot. They've won 10 in a row, and they're 7 out after being way behind early in the year. Jeff Kent has a base hit in the game. Jackson gets it over, 1-1. Danny has walked 1, struck out 4 thus far, surrendered 2 hits. He leads it 3-0 as we start the 5th inning here. The Mets half of it. Fouled out of play, hit it off the end of the bat and hooked it into the crowd down the left field line. Harry's son Todd working the ball game tonight for the New York Mets. They're one of the regular guys. Gary Cohen's out of town. Nice to see Todd here and doing so well in New York. Remember him when he was a baby?
Yeah, he is good too. He's good on the air.
He's real good. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball, tough play for Duncan. Long throw, safe. Kent slides into first base, and he has his 2nd hit of the ball game, and that's hit number 3 in the ball game for New York.
Yeah, Duncan had to go hard to his right there and just couldn't get in a throwing position quickly enough.
Did you ever slide into first like that? I mean, except to avoid a tag?
Never, except to avoid a tag, yeah.
But you see more and more guys doing that to get base hits. And I always heard you don't get there as fast. I don't know how you can prove that or not prove it.
I don't think you get there as fast, but sometimes I noticed on steals, head first slides, you get the benefit of the call. It's close.
Jeff McKnight, the batter, switch hitter. He struck out his first time up, takes a pitch low, ball 1. He's a 7-hole hitter in Dallas Green's lineup. Tim Bogar, the shortstop, waits on deck. St. Louis has hit Montreal with a quick 3-0. They are in the 2nd inning at St. Louis. Cardinals have won the first 2 and have moved a percentage point ahead of Montreal into 2nd place, 10.5 behind the Phils. McKnight grounds it towards 3rd. It's a foul ball. Coming into play tonight, both those teams, Montreal, St. Louis, 10.5 behind the Phillies. Montreal 11 in the loss column, St. Louis 10.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Really. You know, you use those kind of numbers and you can't believe that the Phillies are that far out in front right now. But to their credit, they're approaching every game, you know, as the game you play that night and not think about how far ahead you are.
25 games over the 500 mark.
Season high coming into play tonight. Phillies at 42-17, 19-8 on the road. 1 ball and 1 strike now to McKnight. Ground ball a second. See if they can get 2. Morandini to Duncan. They got the double play. 2 outs. McKnight had the right idea. He was trying to hit the ball the other way, but hit it right at Morandini.
Well, Danny Jackson throws a lot of ground balls, and that's why he's going to have some double plays behind him. That's the second one he's picked up tonight. Bogart, the batter now, hit into one his first time up.
So quickly, 2 outs and nobody on base for Bogart. As Whitey said, he hit into a double play. That was to Morandini, who just stepped on second and threw to first to complete the twin killing. Bogart batting at 191. As of right now, he's the everyday shortstop for New York since they moved Tony Fernandez to Toronto yesterday. High in the air to right field. Pretty well hit, but room for Eisenreich. Jim waits in a few steps. That'll do it here in the 5th inning for New York. No runs, a hit. Fouls it away.
Goodner's walked 2 and not 1.
Eisenreich 0 for 2 tonight, a strikeout and a ground out. Jim coming into the game batting at 360. Another one of those guys Lee Thomas picked up in the offseason, just doing a great job for the Phillies. Danny Jackson on the mound tonight has had 5 strong innings again. Phillies lead at 3-0. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Eisenreich, who was with Kansas City last season. Ground ball to Bogart, who has good actions. Throws him out. He can catch the ball. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't think they know what he's going to hit as of yet.
I think that's the problem. They know what he's going to hit.
Yeah.
Not much.
Well, it doesn't look like it.
But he can field. If you have a good hitting team, you can live with a shortstop like that. But the Mets aren't hitting either.
His very soft hands and charges the ball well.
Strong arm.
Yeah. Thompson got it started for the Phillies in the 4th inning when he was grazed by a pitch and scored the Phil's 2nd run, and then Batiste wound up scoring the 3rd run later on in the inning. Strike call. Milt still hitless, lifetime off Doc Gooden. Both pitchers pitching very well tonight. Gooden giving up 2 runs to the Phillies in the 4th inning. Probably shouldn't have if Coleman had caught the ball in left field that was scored a double hit by Batiste. High chopper. McKnight backed up on it, and he still got him by half a step. Well, once he backed up on that, thought Thompson might be able to beat it, but he gunned him down. Just 2 outs.
I agree with you. I felt the same thing, that he should have charged that ball. I still think he should have charged it. He had time to catch it on the big hop.
Especially with a guy who can run from the left side.
Just got him.
Well, Batiste tonight is 1 for 2 with that double we just talked about. He's also scored a run, knocked in a run. Takes a curveball inside.
All he's done in these 2 games is knocked in 4.
Single double homer, Whitey. That's it. And as you said earlier, one of the guys who'll be the happiest for him is Dave Hollins. So Phillies have really done a good job picking each other up this year. And somebody gets hurt, somebody goes into a little tailspin. They're still playing with 24. They've yet to fill the roster hole. But they expect to do that within the next day or so.
Look at there.
Base hit Kim Batiste. Hit it off the end of the bat a little bit. Slung it into left field. Might have hit another curveball.
Yeah.
Second baseman, Mickey.
Well, Kim Batiste has his 2nd hit of the ball game and his 5th, the 5th off Gooden.
It was a pretty good curveball, too. It down, away a little bit. Reached out. Got enough of it. Hit it in the hole.
Batiste is surprisingly strong, so even though he hits the ball in the end of the bat like that, he can drive it to the outfield. Morandini tripled into the right field corner his last time up, knocked in a run, his 12th of the year on his 4th triple. Coleman is there and makes the play. Phillies are gone here in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They'll leave 1. 5.5 innings here at Shea Stadium. Phillies 3 and the Mets nothing.
You always save 30 to 40% at Today's Man, but right now our once-a-season clearance saves you a lot more. Like pure wool and wool blend suits now 2 for just $1.99. Traditional European or Italian style suits in 100% wool now just $1.59. Pure wool designer suits are now only $1.99. Pure silk sport coats are now 2 for an incredible $99. And you'll save on thousands more items throughout every store during Today's Man's once-a-season clearance. Right now for a very limited time, so hurry.
This is a line. To some, it is seen as a barrier. To others, it's a point where traditions of the past are abandoned in favor of visions of the future. Introducing the revolutionary new Toyota Supra. It's taken everything sports cars were before and crossed the line.
Today, 2 airlines share one vision: to join the world together as never before. Announcing the global alliance of U.S. Air and British Airways. Now, there are no boundaries.
Tonight's Phillies game from the Big Apple in New York on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. By Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. And by Bell Atlantic Mobile, advanced technology, people who make it mean something. Doc Gooden will lead it off for New York here in the 6th, followed by the top of the order, Vince Coleman. And Charlie O'Brien, the catcher. Gooden tonight 0 for 1 with a fly ball to right. Gooden, an excellent hitting pitcher, coming into the game batting at .297 with a homer and 4 runs batted. Has 139 lifetime hits. Hits that one hard, but it comes right up to Batiste. And Kim throws him out, 1 away in the 6th. Kim doing the job with the bat and the glove at third base so far.
Gooden might have more hits than our dear and good friend John Vukovic.
Oh, you said that.
Well, that's a slight possibility. I doubt it. Vuk had more than that.
Maybe not many.
Look that up.
Yeah, I'll tell him you brought that up. Vuk, like that.
Vuk could pick it, though.
Oh, yeah. Coleman swings and misses. He led off with a double, but was stranded at third. There's John Vukovic setting the defenses.
Don't tell him.
No, I wouldn't think of it. He's moving Dykstra over to right center.
There's one of the great minds of baseball, John Vukovic, and I'm not just joshing there.
You're right, he is.
He really is.
Vuk has a real feel for the game, and he does a great job with defensing the opposition and also with the pitchers on how to pitch the opposition. And as he says, the job's so much easier this year because he has pitchers who can throw the ball where you think the hitter's weaknesses are, as opposed to other years where you just couldn't. It just didn't work that way. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Coleman, who's 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Danny has walked 1, struck out 4 thus far. Surrendered 3 hits, all of them 2 singles and the double to Coleman. Foul ball into the crowd.
Smartest thing Luke ever did was marry that Bonnie.
Oh, yeah.
Great lady.
Bonnie was up here for the weekend. She went home this afternoon, maybe watching the ball game right now. She is a fine lady, is right. Swing and a miss, another strikeout. Strikeout number 5 for Jackson, and Vince Coleman's getting the Queen's boos right now from the crowd out here. That was because of that play in left field. He kind of mishandled Batiste's ball earlier. O'Brien, the batter, he sacrificed his first time up, hit a fly ball to Dykstra in the 3rd. O'Brien catching for the first time in this series. Todd Hundley behind the plate in games 1 and 2. Phillies have Ben Rivera out here tomorrow afternoon against Anthony Young at 1:35 or 1:40 the starting time. Anthony Young has 20 straight losses over 2 years.
That scares me. He is overdue.
Here's the 1-0. Ground ball headed towards the hole. Duncan backhands, and he won't get it. Nice play, Mariano Duncan. Not much chance to get 1,000. Eddie Murray on a big hop to Duncan, flips to Morandini, and Danny Jackson out of another inning. A strong inning for Jackson.
After 6 innings of play, it's the Phillies 3 and the Mets nothing. Tomorrow at 7, when Reno witnesses the murder of a friend, he may be the killer's next victim on Renegade, only on PHL 17. As Harry Kells joins us. Harry?
Thanks, Rich. Danny Jackson leads it off. Jackson has struck out both times that he's been up. 1 ball and 1 strike to Danny Jackson. Phil's lead at 3-0. Two and 1. Three balls and 2 strikes. Struck him out again. That's strikeout number 6 for Doc Gooden. 1 down here in the 7th. It'll bring on Lenny Dykstra. Lenny's walked, singled, and lined out. He's stolen 2 bases and scored a run. The Marlins have taken a 3-2 lead on Pittsburgh. Down at Joe Robbie in the 6th inning. 3-run home run by Junior Felix.
They just recalled him from the minor leagues a couple days ago. Felix.
They beat the Pirates tonight. They'll move in front of Pittsburgh. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lenny Dykstra. One and 2.
Hey, one thing, if Florida ever gets a late lead, they got a pretty good chance of winning it with Brian Harvey out there in the bullpen.
Yeah, good closer. Bouncing ball, charged by McKnight, throws Dykstra out. That's 2 down, and that'll bring up Mariano Duncan. Duncan is 1 out of 3, is grounded out, single to knock in a run, and fly to deep center. Phil's lead it here in the 7th, 3-0. Strike to Duncan. Two strikes to him.
Gooden has those powerful legs, and he really uses them.
It fouled on the 3rd base side. Nothing in 2. It holds to Mariano Duncan. Duncan's out on strikes. 7th strikeout for Doc. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Stretch time at Shea. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Phil's lead the Mets 3-0.
On Renegade. It's them, the Dukes of Destruction themselves.
A friend's murder pushes Reno over the edge.
It's between me and the man who did it.
And onto a collision course with the killer.
Now Reno's out for revenge.
The stormtrooper stuff is not the way we do it here.
And this time it's personal.
I'm gonna get him my way.
On the next Renegade.
Sunday at 7 on PHL 17.
We know how to help you save on Dodge Caravan during the National Minivan Sale. Take this one. You can get over $1,800 in total savings, including air and no extra charge with the Family Value Package. Or check out this loaded Grand Caravan LE with $2,600 in total savings, including sale prices on some of our most popular luxury options. Only at the Minivan Store. See your nearest Dodge dealer. We know how to help.
Recently, an object was sighted.
It was big.
Bigger than big.
Huge, huge, large, astronomically big.
Big would be an understatement.
Very big. Huge.
Some guy. Big. Huge.
When it arrives, you better not be alone. Bigfoot.
Pizza Hut.
From Pizza Hut. 2 square feet of pizza. 21 slices on a tasty new crust. $10.99 for up to 3 toppings. It's bigger than pizza. Bigfoot from Pizza Hut. A legendary value.
Hello, I'm Dick Vermeil. Can diet reduce your risk of colorectal cancer? Studies indicate that eating a high-fiber, low-fat diet can reduce your risk for colorectal cancer. Eat more fruit and cut your fat intake to about 30% of your total diet.
Give you a quick recap. Danny Jackson has allowed no runs on 4 hits. He has 5 strikeouts. He's walked 2. Gooden has given up 3 runs on 5 hits, 7 strikeouts and 2 bases on balls. Kim Batiste 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. The Mets 3, 4, and 5 hitters combined 0 for 6.
Got that one off the end of the bat, not deep in left field, and Milt Thompson will catch the fly ball off the bat of Bonilla. 1 down. That'll bring on Darren Jackson. The Phillies knew they were getting a pretty good starting pitcher when they got Danny Jackson, but I think he has exceeded all expectations so far this year.
Yeah, somebody scouted him. The Phillies weren't lucky. They had scouted him at the last half of last season, and the report was that he was really throwing the ball well, you know, about the way he threw it when he was with the Cincinnati Reds, and so they picked him up. Been kind of, Wheels mentioned earlier, an unlucky pitcher in that he's left some games where they've had leads.
But in games in which he started, the Phillies are 9-3. So he certainly kept the Phillies in every game except one. That was the outing he had at Candlestick. Truck's over near the stands, but he's going to run out of room. 2 balls and a strike to Darren Jackson. Darren Jackson for out number 2. Batiste shows you a good arm at third base.
Well, he has a good arm, and he'll play third. Third's easier to play than short. No reflection on third baseman, but it's just the ball gets to you quicker. You don't have as much movement. Well, he has a strong arm. I think they knew he could field at third. They didn't know he was going to hit quite so well.
1 ball and no strikes to Jeff Kent. He's 2 out of 2 with a pair of singles. Fouls it off, 1-1. More bad news for the Mets. Howard Johnson is going to be placed on the disabled list, retroactive to June 11th with a viral condition. And the Mets have purchased the contract of Doug Saunders from Norfolk, the AAA club. Fouled into the Phil's dugout.
Jordan, Chamberlain, Millette. Just taking it easy.
Ball and 2 strikes to Kent. Missed with it, 2-2. of a cool night here at Shea, so Danny Jackson is still strong. It's been a while since Danny has pitched a complete game. High pop up into shallow right. Mickey Morandini makes the grab. That'll retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the 8th inning. Phil's lead 3 inning. Crucker has grounded out, struck out, and walked. Phil's got 1 in the 3rd, an RBI single by Duncan, 2 in the 4th. RBI double by Baptiste and a triple by Morandini. Jackson chases that one down. Nice running grab by Jackson, who got a good jump on the ball. Well hit by Kruk. 1 down. That'll bring on Darren Dalton. Dutch is 0 for 3. He has grounded out all 3 times that he's been up. Again for the Phillies, it's been the leadoff man in the tail end of the order that has done the damage against Doc Gooden.
Baptiste, Morandini, and Dykstra.
There's a hit to right center field, going all the way back to the fence. Dalton on his way to second. He'll roll in with a stand-up double.
Dutch finally got a pretty good pitch to hit. Fastball and out over the plate a little. Gooden really hasn't given him much to swing at tonight.
Brings on Jim Eisenreich, who has struck out and twice grounded out. High with it. 1 ball and no strikes. That one over, 1-1. Curveball, strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's also pitched Eisenreich tough tonight. Been trying to get him to hit the curveball.
Fastball, base hit, right field. Late start by Dalton, and he'll have to be held at third. So the Phillies have runners at first and third with 1 down. Dalton had to make sure the ball was not going to be caught before it went through. So Boa had to hold him at third base, and the batter is Milt Thompson.
Eisenreich got a fastball to hit. First time tonight he's had one to hit.
Milt Thompson has grounded out, been hit by a pitch ball and grounded out. That's a play the infield, a double play depth. 1-0 to Thompson.
Milton usually puts the ball in play. Not an easy man to double either.
But he has all kinds of trouble against Doc Gooden. 0 for 25 lifetime.
He's due.
Yeah.
Overdue.
1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1.
Milt will be looking for the fastball. I don't know if he'll get it. Nope.
Curveball. Curveball for a called strike. 2-2.
He was through ducking line drives when he stopped pitching, I guess.
Fastball up and in. Full count. See if they send Eisenreich here.
I think they will. Nope. Might get another hook.
Full count to Milt Thompson with Philly runners first and third and one down here in the 8th. Eisenreich does go, and it's tapped right in front of the plate. Thompson is thrown out. Dalton had to hold at third, 2 down, and that'll bring on Kim Bat. Dave Tailgater is the pitcher up in the Mets bullpen, just up from Norfolk. Batiste lost a foul out of play. No. 1 ball and 1 strike to Batiste.
And Detroit 9-0 over Toronto in the 5th inning. Like Stottlemyre said, forget the hook. Go with the heat. He's throwing all 3 fastballs.
Ball and 2 strikes. A little bit high with a fastball. 2-2. Philly runners at second and third with 2 down. Phil's lead 3-0. We're in the 8th inning. This is low with it, a full count.
Thrown 5 straight fastballs. You'd think now that Batiste would think he'll get another one.
Line drive, just foul down the right field line. Just barely foul.
A good pitch too. It was down and away. It was a strike. Pitcher's pitch.
Still 3-2 to Kim Batiste. Ground ball, but at third baseman Kent throws across in time to get Batiste, and that'll retire the. Jeff McKnight leads it off. McKnight has struck out and grounded into a double play. Pops a foul out of play. No balls and a strike to McKnight. Danny Jackson working on a 4-hit shutout.
Scattered those hits. No 2 hits in 1 inning.
Mets have their best scoring opportunity in the first. When Vince Coleman led off with a double and was sacrificed at third, and Eddie Murray walked, but then Bobby Bonilla struck out going after bad pitches, and Aaron Jackson grounded out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and one. Let's keep a right-hander up in the bullpen, so it would appear they will hit for Doc Gooden. Line drive, left center center field. Thompson makes the running grab. McKnight is out, one down. That'll bring on Tim Bogar. Bogar is grounded into a double play and flied out to right field. Chico Walker has moved into the on-deck circle. To bat for Doc Gooden. So Doc will leave the game. He pitched well, but Lee's trailing 3-0. Tap toward shortstop. Duncan charges. Got him. That's 2 down, and that'll bring on Chico Walker to bat for Gooden.
Batting for the pitcher, Doc Gooden, number 34, Chico Walker.
Walker is hitting at .216. Switch hitter, batting a lot better right-handed than left. Hitting .346 right-handed, .146 left-handed. As a pinch hitter, he's just 4 for 23. And he smacks that ball into left field for a hit. Single to left. Hit number 5 given up by Jackson. That'll bring up Vince Coleman. Coleman's doubled and twice struck out. One strike to it. How's that one out of play? 0-2 to Coleman. Larry Anderson, the right-hander. David West, the left-hander, up in the Phillies bullpen. Danny Jackson's last complete game came in '89. Oh, just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It back and out of play. Still 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes to Vince Coleman. Chico Walker at first with 2 outs. Missing with the off-speed pitch, 2-2. Ground ball tapped to second base. Morandini throws Coleman out. That'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 9th. Phil's lead 3-0. And for the Mets in the 9th inning. He's a 26-year-old, 6'3", 212 pounds. Comes out of Middletown, New York. And at Norfolk this year, he was 6-3 in 12 games, 11 starts, a 3.07 ERA. Also had 1 save. Went 70 innings, giving up 75 hits, 24 runs. Good strikeout walk ratio, 48 strikeouts and 17 walks. Graduate of the University of Massachusetts. Telgater spells his last name Telgheder. And Mickey Morandini skies a foul that's going to go out of play. Mickey 1 out of 3 was an RBI triple. I think he has 4 triples now. Among the league leaders in that department. And Sparky Anderson's club's pouring it on Toronto. They're in the 6th inning. It's now 12-0. Detroit.
That would give them a 4-game lead.
Yeah. Well, they're winning their 3rd in a row against Toronto. And St. Louis is pounding Montreal. That's now 9-0 in the 4th inning at St. Louis. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Now 11-0 St. Louis.
Fouls it out of play. Still 1-2. Danny Jackson is in the on-deck circle. As we mentioned, Jackson has not pitched a complete game since '89. Last shutout he pitched was '88. Chase the low breaking ball. So Tailgater strikes out the first major league hitter he faces. And it'll bring on Danny Jackson. Jackson has struck out all 3 times that he's been up. Here's Danny Jackson. One strike to him.
Well, the screen might like this young pitcher. He's throwing strikes.
They've had their bullpen woes, have the Mets. Breaking ball. Good curveball for a strike. 1-2. Struck him out. So Tailgater in his major league debut gets a couple of strikeouts. Very unlikely that he will strike out the side, because the man coming up now is the 4th toughest in the league to strike out. Lenny Dyke's 1 out of 3, has walked, singled, lined out, and grounded out. Stolen 2 bases and scored a run. Breaking ball for a called strike. Missing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wild thing, Mitch Williams starting to throw in the Phillies bullpen. Dykstra fists a foul left field side. Coleman a long run, can't make the play. It's into the stands. Oh, he did make the play.
I don't know how he caught that ball.
I thought that ball was off a fan, wasn't it?
Looked like it. Take a look at it here.
No,
just
makes
got
a
it.
great catch to retire the side. Noah runs it off for New York here in the 9th inning. He's 1 out of 2 with an infield single. 1 ball and no strikes. Mitch Williams up in the Phillies bullpen in case Danny Jackson runs into trouble here in the 9th. Off the plate umpire Mark Hirschbeck, that jars him. There's Mitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bit high, 2-1. 2-2. That was pitch number 100 for Danny Jackson. So here in the ninth, he has not thrown an over amount of pitches. Normally, if you pitch a complete game, it's around the 120, 130 mark. Ground ball to shortstop. Mariano Duncan retires O'Brien. That's one down.
And it's a nice, cool night, so he hasn't worked up a real heat out there. And he hasn't been involved in any inning where he's thrown a whole lot of pitches. Probably threw the most pitches in the first inning.
He's got a couple of double plays behind him. Here's Eddie Murray. He has walked. The only walk given up by Danny Jackson. He has struck out and hit into a fielder's choice. Taps it. They'll let it roll, and the row's foul. No balls and a strike to Eddie Murray. Phillies lead 3-0. One strike to Eddie Murray. Lofts a high fly ball that's foul down the right field side, and Jim Eisenreich makes the catch near the stands for out number 2. I've seen a lot of good right fielders in my day, but none that I can recall that can catch balls in foul ground with the stands near them as readily as that man. We've seen him do that all year.
Well, he goes in there among the people and comes out with the ball most of the time.
Really does. That's 2 down, and that'll bring on Bobby Bonilla. Had a cut, fouled it back. Bobby Bo is nothing out of 3. Two outs here in the 9th inning. Just missing a little bit high, 1-1. Missing high again, 2-1.
Jackson is still throwing very hard. Some mustard on that fastball.
2 balls and a strike to Bobby Bonilla. Missing low. 3-1. Field, base hit, taken on 1 hop by Milt Thompson. So Bonilla is a 2-out base run. He was 0 for 3 tonight, 3 groundouts.
It's the first hit out of the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Make that the 3, 4, and 5. That's right. Middle of the order.
Danny Jackson needs 1 more out here. Leading at 3-0. 1 strike to Darren Jackson. Roll with it, 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes.
Darren Jackson trying to get 2 runs with that swing.
Fly ball to right. This should be the ball game. Jim Eisenreich squeezes it. Danny Jackson's first complete game since 1989. His first shutout since 1988. What a masterful job by Danny Jackson. A complete game, 3-0 win over the New York Mets, scattering 6 singles. As the Phils have won 3 in a row in this series here at Shea. Kim Baptiste, an RBI double. Mickey Morandini, an RBI triple. Mariano Duncan, an RBI single. That's all the left-hander Danny Jackson needed. What a job by Danny Jackson. The Phils winning at 3-0. Back with the totals and a recap in just a moment.